You've been told that Canadian beach towns are either millionaire-only enclaves on Vancouver Island, absurdly overpriced Ontario cottages that cost $700,000 despite being seasonal shacks, or maritime tourist towns that feel magical for 3 summer months and completely disappear the other 9. Travel marketing loves showing Tofino and Prince Edward Island while politely ignoring that popularity turned them into coastal theme parks where normal Canadians can't afford to live without selling a kidney or inheriting a house. What they won't tell you, because it ruins the brochure, is that there are real Canadian beach towns no one talks about. Ocean access, natural beauty, and prices that haven't been destroyed yet, mostly because marketing hasn't found them and speculation hasn't finished the job. So subscribe and let's start. Number 10. Tatamagouche, Nova Scotia, Northumberland, straight Bohemian beach village with warmest Canadian waters. Tatamagouche sits on Northumberland Strait in northern Nova Scotia, with population around 700 people, Bohemian character attracting artists and alternative lifestyle advocates, and beaches providing warmest ocean waters in Canada, making swimming actually pleasant rather than endurance test that frigid Atlantic coast requires even during peak summer when temperatures barely make water tolerable for more than brief immersions that hypothermia risk creates for anyone staying in water longer than few minutes without wetsuit protection. According to geographic and oceanographic climate data, Northumberland Strait waters reach 18 to 22 degrees Celsius during July and August, compared to Atlantic coast waters remaining 12 to 15 degrees even at peak season, creating temperature difference of 6 to 10 degrees that fundamentally changes beach experience from occasional cold water dip requiring immediate exit and warming to actual comfortable swimming and water recreation that families with children can enjoy without constant supervision, preventing dangerous cold exposure that Atlantic coast swimming presents even during warmest summer days. The beaches include Tatamagouche Provincial Beach, providing sandy shores with change facilities, and Rush Point Beach, offering quieter alternative with beautiful views, plus general coastal character that's authentic working waterfront rather than developed resort destination with manicured boardwalks and commercialized atmosphere that some beach towns cultivate for tourist revenue, but that destroys local character and prices out year-round residents who can't compete with seasonal visitor spending, driving up costs during brief summer months. According to real estate data from late 2025 and early 2026, Tatamagouche housing ranges from $200,000 to $400,000 for detached homes with some waterfront properties, commanding premiums reaching $500,000, but most residential real estate remaining affordable compared to famous maritime destinations like Lunenburg or Chester, where equivalent properties exceed $500,000 to $700,000 due to UNESCO designation and tourism popularity, creating demand that speculation amplified beyond local economic fundamentals. The rental market offers 1-bedroom apartments for $500 to $700 monthly and 2-bedroom apartments for $600 to $800 monthly, providing housing affordability that allows beach living without requiring exceptional incomes or substantial savings that expensive coastal markets demand for access to ocean proximity that Tatamagouche provides at fraction of cost that speculation-driven destinations charge for equivalent or often inferior beach access and water quality. The community character is distinctly bohemian, with farmers market operating weekly during growing season from May through October, offering local produce, crafts, prepared foods, and general social gathering that becomes community hub where residents connect and visitors experience authentic small-town maritime culture rather than commercialized tourist performance. Plus folk music scene providing concerts and festivals throughout summer and fall, creating entertainment and cultural engagement unusual for a village of 700 people. According to residents and community observers who've studied Tatamagouche's evolution, the town attracts artists seeking affordable coastal living and supportive creative community, musicians drawn to folk music traditions and performance opportunities, back-to-landers practicing sustainable agriculture and alternative lifestyles, retirees seeking affordable beach access on modest fixed incomes, and young families priced out of expensive regions who discover that beautiful beaches and ocean lifestyle don't require wealth when communities haven't been discovered by mass tourism. The employment situation is challenged because local opportunities are limited to small businesses serving local population, including cafes and restaurants that seasonal tourism supports, agriculture including organic farms and farmers market vendors, arts and crafts production for local and tourist sales, and essential services that small population requires, including healthcare clinic and schools, requiring many working residents to commute to Truro 35 minutes away for employment in healthcare at regional hospital, education, government services, or retail sectors that regional hub supports. Number 9. Pictou, Nova Scotia, Scottish heritage beach town with warm Northumberland waters. Pictou sits on Northumberland Strait with population around 3,000 people. Scottish immigration heritage creating cultural identity celebrated through festivals including Pictou Lobster Carnival and Hector Festival commemorating ship that brought Scottish settlers in 1773, and beaches providing warm water recreation that Atlantic coast can't match despite being same province, because Northumberland Strait's protected waters and southern exposure create conditions allowing comfortable swimming rather than just brief wading that frigid Atlantic permits even during peak summer season. According to municipal information and provincial tourism data, Pictou beaches, including Caribou Provincial Park, 15 minutes from town, and Melmerby Beach. Provincial Park, 20 minutes away, offers sandy shores with facilities including changing rooms, washrooms, picnic areas, and lifeguard supervision during peak season from late June through early September, creating family-friendly beach experience that's accessible and affordable rather than exclusive resort environment, requiring expensive accommodations and commercial beach access fees that some destinations impose on visitors. The real estate market shows detached homes ranging from $250,000 to $450,000 with waterfront properties on or very near ocean commanding premiums, approaching $600,000 but non-waterfront residential real estate within walking or short driving distance to beaches remaining accessible to middle-class buyers with modest savings or equity from selling properties elsewhere, creating home ownership opportunity that expensive coastal markets eliminated through speculation driving prices beyond relationship to local incomes or employment opportunities. The rental market offers one-bedroom apartments for $550 to $750 monthly and two-bedroom apartments for $650 to $850 monthly, providing housing costs that allow coastal living on modest incomes including service sector wages, retirement pensions from CPP and OAS, or disability benefits rather than requiring exceptional earnings that expensive destinations demand for beach proximity that Pictou provides affordably relative to marketed tourist destinations. The community celebrates Scottish heritage through various festivals and events including Pictou Lobster Carnival in early July, featuring lobster dinners, parade, entertainment, and general celebration of fishing industry importance, and Hector Festival in mid-August commemorating Scottish immigration with Highland dancing, pipe bands, historical reenactments, and cultural activities connecting residents and visitors to immigration history while creating social engagement and activities that small-town living sometimes lacks when populations are insufficient for supporting diverse programming. According to employment data and local economic patterns, opportunities are limited primarily to healthcare at Aberdeen Hospital in nearby New Glasgow, 10 minutes away, employing doctors, nurses, technicians, and support staff. Education in local schools serving Pictou and surrounding areas, retail businesses serving local population, and seasonal tourists, fishing industry that continues operating though at reduced scale from historical peaks, seasonal tourism providing summer employment in restaurants and accommodations, and small businesses serving local needs. The climate provides maritime moderate winters where temperatures rarely sustain below -20 and snow accumulation is manageable compared to interior regions experiencing deeper snow and longer cold periods, plus pleasant summers with temperatures typically in high teens to low 20s, creating comfortable conditions for outdoor activities without extreme heat. Though fog and rain are common, creating dampness that some find psychologically challenging, but others embrace as authentic coastal weather. Number 8. Shediac, New Brunswick, world's warmest waters north of Virginia and lobster capital Shediac, sits on Northumberland Strait in southeastern New Brunswick, with population around 6,000 people. Aggressive marketing as lobster capital of the world, symbolized by giant lobster sculpture serving as tourist attraction and symbol of fishing industry economic importance, and beaches legitimately claiming warmest saltwater waters north of Virginia, creating swimming conditions that are genuinely comfortable rather than requiring cold tolerance that most Canadian beaches demand even during peak summer, when water temperatures elsewhere remain uncomfortably cold. According to climate and oceanographic data collected over decades by Environment Canada and marine research institutions, Shediac beaches, including Parley Beach Provincial Park, regularly reach 22 to 25 degrees Celsius during July and August, making water genuinely warm for Canadian context, where most ocean and even lake swimming involves cold that limits duration and enjoyment, creating beach experience that rivals mid-Atlantic American destinations without requiring crossing border or paying American vacation costs, including accommodation and dining expenses. The real estate market shows homes ranging from $250,000 to $500,000, with waterfront properties directly on ocean commanding substantial premiums exceeding $600,000, but residential properties within short walking or driving distance to beaches remaining accessible at $300,000 to $400,000, providing coastal home ownership opportunity at prices that are a fraction of what equivalent beach proximity costs in Ontario, cottage country or British Columbia island communities, where speculation drove prices completely disconnected from local incomes. The rental market offers seasonal variation, with summer rentals being tourist-priced at $2,000 to $4,000 weekly, reflecting peak season demand, but year-round rentals providing one-bedroom apartments for $600 to $800 monthly and two-bedroom for $700 to $950 monthly, creating housing costs that allow permanent residence rather than just seasonal tourism that some beach communities cater to exclusively, without maintaining year-round residential population or community character. The community character reflects mix of Francophone Acadian heritage, representing majority population, and Anglophone residents, creating officially bilingual environment where French is predominant language in daily interactions, including municipal services, schools, and most businesses. And cultural identity celebrates Acadian traditions while welcoming English-speaking newcomers who respect linguistic diversity rather than expecting English accommodation that some Anglophones demand when relocating to Francophone communities. According to employment patterns and local economic data, opportunities include commercial fishing industry employing boat crews and processing plant workers, tourism and hospitality sector providing seasonal employment in restaurants, accommodations, attractions, and retail businesses serving summer visitors, healthcare at local clinics and regional hospital, education in French and English schools, small businesses serving local population, and professional services, with Moncton 45 minutes away providing additional regional employment opportunities. The beaches include Parley Beach Provincial Park as primary attraction, offering kilometers of sandy beach, supervised swimming, facilities including changing rooms and concessions, and crowds during peak summer that can number tens of thousands on hot weekends, creating atmosphere that's lively and social, but potentially overwhelming for people seeking isolated, peaceful beach experience, rather than busy recreational destination attracting families from throughout Maritimes and beyond. The fishing industry maintains economic importance despite challenges from regulation, international competition, and environmental changes affecting lobster stocks, creating employment and cultural identity that tourism supplements rather than completely replacing, preventing Shediac from becoming purely seasonal tourist destination without authentic working community character that year-round residents and industries maintain throughout off-season months. However, for families seeking genuinely warm, comfortable swimming where children can spend extended time in water without cold becoming issue requiring constant supervision and warming breaks, accepting bilingual Francophone cultural environment where French language and Acadian heritage are celebrated and predominant, and prioritizing beach access and water quality over complete affordability, where Shediac prices are moderate but not cheapest maritime options, the town offers legitimate warm water beach experience rare in Canadian context. Like this video if you're discovering that Canadian beach living doesn't require wealth or settling for overcrowded tourist destinations, that marketing saturated and speculation transformed into expensive enclaves. Subscribe if you're learning that warm water beaches exist in Canada, offering comfortable swimming and coastal lifestyle at affordable prices in communities that authenticity maintains, because speculation hasn't completely destroyed affordability yet through treating housing as investment commodity. Number 7. Qualicum Beach, Vancouver Island, affordable island beach living with mountain backdrop. Qualicum Beach sits on eastern Vancouver Island with population around 9,500 people and beaches providing relatively protected waters compared to island's western exposure to open Pacific, where powerful waves and cold currents create challenging swimming conditions, creating coastal community that's more affordable than famous island destinations like Tofino, where surfing culture and international reputation drive prices, or Victoria, where provincial capital status and retirement migration create million-dollar average home prices, excluding normal families from ownership. According to real estate data from late 2025, Qualicum Beach homes range from $400,000 to $700,000, which is elevated compared to maritime provinces where equivalent coastal properties cost half these amounts, but represents genuine value in Vancouver Island context, where Victoria averages over $1 million for detached homes and Tofino properties approach similar or higher prices due to surfing tourism creating international demand that local supply can't match. The beaches include Qualicum Beach itself, offering approximately 2 kilometers of sandy shore at low tide when water recedes, exposing firm sand ideal for walking and beach activities, and relatively warm waters by BC standards reaching 15 to 17 degrees Celsius during summer, which is cold by Eastern Canadian Northumberland Strait standards, where waters reach 22 to 25 degrees but comfortable compared to Pacific Western exposure, where temperatures remain colder and dangerous currents create less family-friendly conditions. The community attracts diverse demographics, including retirees seeking island living without Victoria housing costs that $1 million averages create, young families priced out of southern Vancouver Island, discovering that Qualicum Beach offers schools, services, and beach access at prices that dual incomes can support, unlike Victoria or Vancouver, where family homeownership requires exceptional earnings or substantial down payments from family wealth, and remote workers whose employment allows location independence choosing island lifestyle. The employment situation for working residents requires commuting to Parksville, immediately adjacent sharing services and employment opportunities, or Nanaimo 45 minutes south, serving as Vancouver Island's second city, providing diverse employment in healthcare, at regional hospital, education, government services, retail, light manufacturing, and services that larger population supports, creating situation where Qualicum Beach offers residential beach community character, while employment access remains reasonable for people willing to commute. The recreation opportunities extend beyond beaches to include hiking in nearby mountains, fishing in ocean and rivers, golf courses attracting enthusiasts, and general outdoor activities that island living provides through combination of ocean access and mountainous terrain, creating geographic diversity that purely coastal or purely mountain regions don't match, appealing to active lifestyle seekers who want varied recreation options beyond just beach sitting. The climate is Pacific coastal moderate, with mild winters rarely seeing sustained freezing temperatures or significant snow accumulation, creating year-round outdoor activity possibilities, though rain is common, particularly October through March, creating gray wet conditions that some find depressing, but others accept as Pacific coast reality, and summers being pleasant with temperatures typically in low 20s without extreme heat that southern interior regions experience. However, for people seeking Vancouver Island lifestyle and beach access without paying Victoria or Tofino prices that wealth or substantial equity require, accepting that BC coastal living costs more than maritime alternatives but provides milder climate and mountain scenery, prioritizing year-round outdoor recreation over purely beach focus, and having employment situations supporting $400,000 to $600,000 home purchases, Qualicum Beach represents accessible island beach living option. Number 6. Comox, Vancouver Island, military town providing beach access and economic stability. Comox sits on eastern Vancouver Island with population around 15,000 people, including substantial military presence from Canadian Forces Base, Comox providing fighter jets and search and rescue operations, and beaches offering protected Comox Bay waters with spectacular mountain backdrop creating scenic beauty that rivals expensive destinations while maintaining relative affordability through military presence, preventing complete gentrification that retirement migration causes elsewhere on island, where wealthy retirees drive prices beyond normal family affordability. According to real estate data, Comox homes range from $450,000 to $650,000, which is reasonable for Vancouver Island context and reflects military families creating steady housing demand that supports market without wild speculation driving prices to extremes that purely civilian retirement communities experience when wealthy buyers from Vancouver or international sources compete for limited properties, creating bidding wars and price inflation disconnected from local wages. The beaches include Goose Spit Park, providing sandy beach extending into Comox Bay with views of Beaufort Mountains across water, creating family recreation destination that military families and civilian residents share. And general coastal access throughout community, providing ocean proximity that island living offers, without requiring waterfront property ownership that commands premiums of $100,000 to $300,000 above comparable inland properties. The employment situation benefits significantly from Canadian Forces Base, providing stable jobs for military personnel including pilots, mechanics, administration and support roles, plus civilian positions serving base operations and supporting businesses including contractors, retailers, restaurants, and services benefiting from military family spending, creating economic diversity beyond tourism or resource extraction that many island communities depend on, with resulting volatility. The community character reflects military presence, creating transient population as personnel rotate through postings, typically lasting 3 to 5 years, but also maintains stable civilian population, providing continuity and local character that exclusively military towns sometimes lack, plus benefits from military families bringing diverse backgrounds and experiences from across Canada, and international postings creating cosmopolitan atmosphere unusual for smaller Vancouver Island communities. Number 5. Parksville, Vancouver Island, family beach destination with shallow warm waters. Parksville sits on eastern Vancouver Island with population around 13,000 people and beaches famous throughout British Columbia for sand quality and shallow warm waters at low tide, creating ideal family swimming conditions that Vancouver Island otherwise doesn't match, due to rocky shores or cold Pacific currents that limit comfortable beach recreation, even during summer peak season when most BC waters remain uncomfortably cold. According to tourism information and geographic characteristics, Parksville Beach at low tide when ocean recedes exposes vast sandy areas that warm in summer sun, creating shallow pools and channels that heat to comfortable temperatures for children, making Parksville primary family beach destination within British Columbia, where most coastal areas are too cold or rocky for young children to enjoy safely and comfortably without constant supervision, preventing hypothermia. The real estate market shows homes ranging from $500,000 to $800,000, reflecting popularity among families seeking beach access and retirees attracted to mild climate and recreational opportunities, though prices are elevated compared to interior BC or maritime alternatives, with proximity to Nanaimo creating employment access that supports family incomes necessary for purchasing at these price levels. The rental market provides options for people not ready to purchase, including one-bedroom apartments at $1,200 to $1,600 monthly, and two-bedroom apartments at $1,500 to $1,900 monthly, reflecting BC coastal rental costs that are elevated nationally but allow beach living for families able to afford these housing expenses through dual incomes or remote work arrangements. The community services include schools serving families with children, recreation facilities providing swimming pools and programs, healthcare clinic with regional hospital in Nanaimo, providing comprehensive care, shopping, adequate for daily needs, though major purchases require Nanaimo trips, and general amenities supporting family-oriented population that beach access and mild climate attract. However, for families prioritizing child-friendly beaches where shallow warm waters allow safe, comfortable swimming, willing to accept elevated housing costs that BC coastal living requires compared to national averages, and having employment situations supporting $500,000 plus home purchases or $2,000 monthly rents, Parksville offers genuine family beach destination that BC reputation for cold rocky shores suggests doesn't exist within province. Number 4, Sechelt, Sunshine Coast, protected harbor beach, living near Vancouver. Sechelt sits on BC Sunshine Coast, accessible via ferry from Horseshoe Bay in West Vancouver, with population around 10,000 people and protected Sechelt Inlet, creating calm waters ideal for swimming, kayaking, sailing, and water sports. While mountain backdrop and relative proximity to Vancouver, despite ferry requirement, make it attractive for remote workers seeking coastal living, without complete isolation that northern BC coastal communities present. According to real estate data, Sechelt homes range from $500,000 to $900,000, which is elevated but represents value compared to Vancouver, where equivalent properties exceed $1.5 million, and Sunshine Coast lifestyle appeals to people seeking beach access, with ferry commute to city employment being viable for some occupations, and schedules tolerating travel time, including vehicle boarding, crossing, and driving to final destinations. The beaches and waterfront throughout Sechelt provide numerous access points, including Davis Bay, offering sandy beach, trail islands creating protected swimming areas, and general coastal character where ocean is always nearby and accessible rather than requiring driving long distances that inland communities require for beach access, creating daily lifestyle incorporating water activities and coastal recreation. The community attracts artists and creatives seeking affordable studio space and inspiring natural environment, retirees from Vancouver downsizing and seeking milder climate than interior BC, while maintaining access to city amenities through ferry connection, young families priced out of Vancouver discovering that Sunshine Coast allows home ownership and beach living that city makes impossible, and remote workers whose employment flexibility enables ferry-dependent location. However, for people accepting ferry dependence, creating barrier to spontaneous Vancouver trips, and requiring planning around sailing schedules, particularly during peak summer when traffic is heavy, willing to pay elevated Sunshine Coast prices that proximity to Vancouver creates, and prioritizing protected calm water beaches over dramatic Pacific exposure that Western Vancouver Island offers, Sechelt represents accessible beach living maintaining connection to major city. Number 3. Powell River, BC, remote Upper Sunshine Coast, affordability, with ocean access. Powell River sits on Upper Sunshine Coast north of Sechelt, accessible via 2 ferries from Vancouver, with population around 13,000 people and coastal living at prices substantially below southern BC due to isolation creating barrier that limits demand while providing ocean access, beautiful scenery, and outdoor recreation for people accepting ferry dependence and distance from major centers that employment and services concentrate in. According to real estate data from late 2025, Powell River homes range from $350,000 to $550,000, making it most affordable BC coastal community covered in this video, and demonstrating that isolation has prevented gentrification that speculation created in more accessible locations where wealthy buyers from Vancouver discovered communities and drove prices beyond local economic fundamentals, serving actual working residents. The waterfront provides extensive ocean access with numerous beaches, boat launches, fishing opportunities from shore and boats, kayaking in protected waters, and general maritime character that working fishing and logging heritage created before tourism became economic factor, maintaining authentic coastal community rather than manufactured resort destination designed primarily for visitor spending. The employment situation reflects resource industry heritage with forestry and fishing, continuing though at reduced levels from historical peaks, pulp mill providing industrial employment, healthcare and education serving local population, retail and services, and increasing remote work as internet connectivity improves, allowing knowledge workers to choose location based on lifestyle preferences rather than proximity to employer offices. However, for people prioritizing affordability over accessibility, where 2 ferry journey to Vancouver requires full day and limits spontaneous travel, accepting remote coastal living where services and shopping are limited compared to urban centers, and valuing authentic working community character over developed tourism infrastructure, Powell River offers genuine BC coastal living at prices that maritime provinces match, demonstrating that affordable beach access exists when isolation moderates demand. Number 2. Campbell River, Vancouver Island, salmon capital, with beach access and regional services. Campbell River sits on northern Vancouver Island, with population around 35,000 people, making it significant regional center. Fishing industry creating economic base and cultural identity as salmon capital of the world, and coastal access providing beaches and waterfront recreation, while remaining more affordable than southern island communities that retirement migration and tourism transformed into expensive destinations where normal families are priced out. According to real estate data, Campbell River homes range from $400,000 to $600,000, which is reasonable for Vancouver Island and reflects larger population providing employment diversity that smaller communities can't support, creating situation where families can find work in healthcare, at regional hospital, education, retail, government services, fishing industry, forestry operations, and various businesses that regional hub status supports. The beaches and waterfront access include Discovery Harbor Marina and Waterfront Walkway, numerous parks providing coastal access including Rotary Seawalk, offering paved trail along ocean, Quadra Island, visible across Discovery Passage, accessible via short ferry creating additional recreation opportunities, and general maritime character where fishing heritage remains visible through commercial boats and industry despite tourism growth. Number 1. Sooke, Vancouver Island, wild west coast beaches. Near Victoria, Sooke sits on southern Vancouver Island, approximately 45 minutes west of Victoria, with population around 15,000 people, and dramatic wild coastline providing rugged Pacific beaches, outdoor recreation including hiking on Juan de Fuca Trail, and proximity to provincial capital allowing employment access while enjoying coastal living that Victoria housing prices exclude for families earning normal incomes unable to compete in million-dollar market that capital city became. According to real estate data from late 2025, Sooke homes range from $500,000 to $800,000, which is substantially less than Victoria, where equivalent properties exceed $1 million, and condos approach $700,000, demonstrating that 45-minute drive creates enough distance that commuters willing to travel can access affordability while maintaining Victoria employment in government, healthcare, education, or private sector positions. The coastline includes numerous beaches ranging from sandy Whiff and Spit to rocky shores with tide pools at French Beach Provincial Park and East Sooke Regional Park, creating diverse coastal access and Pacific Ocean exposure that's wild and dramatic rather than calm, protected waters that Eastern Island beaches provide, appealing to people seeking authentic ocean power and natural beauty over comfortable swimming conditions. The community attracts young families priced out of Victoria, discovering that commute enables home ownership that capital city makes impossible. Remote workers seeking coastal lifestyle with capital proximity for accessing services and amenities while living in smaller community. Outdoor recreation enthusiasts prioritizing hiking, kayaking, surfing, and nature access over urban entertainment and dining that Victoria offers. And people valuing wild natural beauty over developed resort infrastructure. Subscribe if you've learned that Canadian beach living exists beyond expensive tourist destinations and retirement communities that substantial wealth requires. Comment which coastal town interests you most and share this video with anyone assuming beach lifestyle is exclusively expensive privilege requiring inheritance or exceptional income. Because reality is that affordable ocean access exists in communities that marketing hasn't saturated and speculation hasn't completely destroyed yet, through transforming housing into investment commodity, divorced from serving actual residents seeking sustainable coastal living that generations could maintain, rather than wealth-driven displacement that speculation creates.